All right, everyone, welcome back to the Brain versus Taste Buds March Madness picks, all the way from the Sweet 16 to the National Championship, to see if my taste buds can make better picks than my brain to pick the champion. And of course, we've already done the Sweet 16. There are 2 videos, 2 parts, top bracket, bottom bracket, already out. Go check those out if you haven't already seen them, so that you don't have any spoilers. And now we're going to the Elite 8 for this one, and we're going to go starting on the top and come around to the bottom. So we're going to start with the West region and end with the East. So let's see what happens. Okay, now just a reminder for those. You get, in this Elite 8, you get 2 points per pick. And of course, plus the seed. And that goes up to 3 points and 4 points for the Final Four and Championship. And again, always plus the seed. You can see what our picks were last time. So my brain actually picked this exact Elite 8. So if my brain is correct, my taste buds are also correct. And we would be tied at this point. But number 1 Gonzaga taking on number 3 Texas Tech. So I don't know. Maybe our brain and taste buds will both get destroyed based on how this bracket has gone, but we'll see. So let's go back to Gonzaga. Yeah. I mean, this Gonzaga beer is, it's very tasty. I definitely like it. It's definitely good. Now we're going to check out Texas Tech again. And Texas Tech is a hoppy beer, but it's a very like citrusy type hoppy beer. So in terms of flavor profiles, I do got to say, both of these are very good. So now it comes down to the point of like, which beer can I have more of? My taste buds not only need to be, their interest needs to be piqued. We're in the Elite 8 now. My taste buds need to continue to have that interest, and then will it continue to have it if I had a bunch of it? So that's where I'm at right now. See who's moving on to the Final Four. Of course, my brain has Gonzaga going all the way, of course. Although Texas Tech, you got to check out the SunDried Tomatoes podcast. Me and my cousin Austin had a lot to say about Texas Tech. They're a very good team, one of our dark horses. And just based on what I've seen, I would not be surprised if they win the whole thing. I certainly wouldn't be surprised if they upset Gonzaga, but I'm still sticking with Gonzaga. I still have faith in Gonzaga. Both Gonzaga and Texas Tech were actually pushed a little bit in their games too. And if you watch the podcast, we talk about it. A lot of times we think that upsets happen because teams maybe get a cakewalk in one of the games, and then once they play a team that has a higher intensity, it's hard for them to match that because they didn't really need to in the game before. Not going to be a problem with either of these teams. So if this ends up being an Elite 8, it's going to be a great game. I am very excited for this potential matchup. In terms of my taste buds, there's just more going on with Gonzaga. Gonzaga's moving on. All right, now we move on to the South bracket. And this bracket got upended by my taste buds as they took out Arizona. I still have Arizona in this potential match going to the Final Four, so my brain still has Arizona. So we'll see what happens here. As it's my taste buds have number 2 Villanova, and I have Michigan. So this could be a big. If this ends up being a matchup, my brain could be in trouble. But you got number 2 Villanova taking on number 5 Houston, and if you remember from the last ones, Villanova brought the fire with some sort of a crazy cookies and cream type situation. So I know that's coming, some sort of chocolatey goodness. Oh man, and it continues to just be delicious. Like it's literally like I'm eating dessert that isn't that sweet. I mean, it's just perfect. This Villanova, I'm just gonna throw this out there that this is gonna be tough to top. The question is, will I get tired of this Will I get tired of this beer as this continues and we go to the Final Four and championship? It's going to be tough to top here, but we'll see. I'm not counting out Houston. There's a reason Houston made it this far, so let's see. Yes, and the reason Houston made it this far is because it is a delicious, delicious fruit beer. Definitely like peach or mango going on there. This would be an interesting Gonzaga matchup if they end up in the championship. But I gotta say, this Villanova beer is good. And I do got to say that even though I picked against Villanova, there's nothing against Villanova. I think they're a very good team. I think Villanova's dangerous at this point. When Villanova gets on, they're tough to beat. They have an amazing coach. I would not be surprised if Villanova wins the whole thing. They tend to go far when they make it to the Sweet 16. So, I would not be surprised at all. My taste buds maybe would be good to pick them. But again, this is the Elite Eight. We got to see if my taste buds can handle this. This kind of sour action of this Houston beer is nice. I do got to say it's nice. I love a sour beer. And especially when it's a natural sour because of like the fruit that they use. It's just too hard to deny. At this point, chocolate is trumping fruit. And I am going, my taste buds, are going with number 2, Villanova. Moving on to the Midwest bracket, we have number 1, Kansas, which I do have going to the Final Four, taking on number 11, Iowa State. I did not have them this far, so again, if they make it, my taste buds are doing pretty good. So we'll see what happens here. This will be interesting. See what my taste buds have to say. I believe this might be hops against hops. This Kansas beer is very good. This is one of those hoppy beers that I actually enjoy. It's not too in your face, but it definitely has the hop flavor. It has a grain aroma, which I actually like. Everybody I like the hop aromas and all these things. I think if you have a very good flavor, like a hop flavor that comes out, but you still have the grain profile and you can smell it, that's even more impressive to me. So my taste buds definitely like Kansas. Let's see what Iowa State has for me. Yeah, Iowa State's also a good hobby beer. It's not as pronounced as the Kansas beer, I do got to say. So, definitely not a good first impression by my taste buds, paired up back to back. Of course, it's amazing Iowa State's here. I had Wisconsin in this situation. In one of my fun brackets, I had Wisconsin actually going to the Final Four, but in all reality, my brain had picked Kansas. Man, it's a good hobby beer. Kansas is bringing it. Iowa State, let's see what they got again. This is the Elite Eight. We got to see if this continues. Oh. This one's easy. Number 1, Kansas is moving on. And finally, we move on to the East bracket. The last Final Four spot is coming up here. Number 8, North Carolina taking on number 15, St. Peter's. And I do not have any of these teams making it. My brain would have, they didn't pick Purdue, but it did pick UCLA making it this far. But in terms of backups, my brain does have UCLA topping Purdue. So my brain has UCLA making it to the Final Four in this scenario. Obviously not here. So my taste buds are trying to get a jump on my brain. So let's dip into North Carolina. Yes, and the reason North Carolina made it this far right off the bat, it's just right away it hits you with that like fruity sourness. And one of these sample packs that I got that did this, I bet a lot of these fruity type beers are in the same one. I bet it's similar brewery. I'm impressed with all of them. They're good. They're very good beers. So we'll see what happens there. It's a good beer. I'm going to move on here to St. Peter's. As St. Peter's did move on here, which is insane. My brain definitely doesn't pick them to make it to the Elite Eight. They'd be the first ever 15 seed to ever make the Elite Eight. It'd be a hell of a story, and my taste buds would be going nuts, I guess. But my taste buds, I don't think they have them moving past this point. But I'll give it one more try. Again, Elite Eight, got to give multiple tries here. Back to North Carolina. That it's like biting into an orange. It's delicious. It's really good. And to be honest, after seeing North Carolina now, they almost blew the game against Baylor. Let's be honest. They almost tried to lose that game at the end. But what they did before was impressive. And the fact that I know they're nuts and they're up and down, but when they're up, they could very easily make the Final Four. So I definitely say don't sleep on North Carolina. I think North Carolina might actually make it to the Final Four. Like, I would not be surprised. But I do got to give one more chance here, just one more chance to see if St. Peter's might be able to make this upset. I mean, I gotta give them a chance, right? My taste buds have to give them a chance. And the answer is absolutely not. And guess what? North Carolina's moving on to the Final Four, and we now have our Final Four picks. And tomorrow you'll get to see the Final Four picks and the championship pick. It's going to be a blast. And of course, then we get Sweet 16 games to watch and all the great games going on. It's going to be a fun weekend. Thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing. And remember, random is good.
To discover visions lost on their minds, searching and scrolling, avoiding the trolls and wishing for the seconds to start slowing. Reading the news while I drink delicious brews, pick and choose whether to debate this or discover a new food. Rap battles and video games, no reason to wait. Instead I take action, my passions lead to tasks and distraction. A weekly live action attraction, utter satisfaction as you watch my random reactions.
This is a SunDried Tomatoes channel production by Anthony Otso. Follow, like, and subscribe, and check out other shows and a video version of the monthly podcast that you can also get audio-only versions most places that podcasts are found.